So hello guys, we are back live today, and we want to discuss about the India versus England, one of the most interesting test series uh, coming in our way. And before the first test, analyze the strength and weakness of both the squad. Although India didn't release the squad yet, but um, we want to, but England has released the squad, and this is the first time India would be playing a series without two of their most experienced batters not taking part anymore, and that is Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Saddashi, what can you add it? Sorry guys, there was some technical glitch, and that's why we. Yeah. So the point that we were discussing is that I think England has already announced the squad, and we will be discussing about it today. And what are the strength and weakness of the Indian squad? I think Rishabh Pant announced in the press conference that India would be going with Shubman Gill at number 4 and Rishabh Pant at number 5. So those are the fixed spots, but who can make their debut yet? So yeah, and who will be the new guys at 1, 2, 3? So I think at 1, 2, I think KL Rahul and uh, I think one Yashasvi Jaiswal can make the way if I go with my playing 11, and then maybe 3 there we can get to see likely Sai Sudarshan making his debut. Uh, at 4, Shubman Gill. 5, we have Pant, or let's say 5 we have Karun Nair. 6, Pant. 7, Jadeja. 8, Reddy, or Shardul Thakur, and 3 fast bowlers. I think Prasidh Krishna, Jasprit Bumrah, Siraj. So I think this is going to be the which they're going planning to go with, and I think uh, which they're going planning to go with, and yeah. So guys, if you are watching, please comment your thoughts on the match and what are your feelings. Who is going to win the series, and what are your expectations from the first match? The first match is at Headingley, so this is the place where the ball does a bit and it does some kind of a movement. So so that is, I think, some of the things which India needs to struggle with Indian batsmen specifically. But I think Indian bowling is also well equipped with the bowlers like Jasprit Bumrah. They can also trouble the English batsmen. So it's going to be, I would say, a good match. And also with England side, they don't have the likes of Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad. So maybe India would be finding themselves a bit comfortable with playing Josh Tongue, Chris Wokes, and one more guy, I forgot his name, Biden Cards. Yeah, so we have a comment from Deba Edit that what do you think? Can Karun Nair prove himself again? See, Karun Nair did well in the domestic season. He played well in the county. So I think if given a chance, I think Karun Nair can show us. At least he can score up some handy runs, which will be helpful for India because now since the from the experience perspective, he has the experience of playing in county. So and now since the the experienced batters are not there, so yeah, he needs to take up the charge now to do well in these conditions. And I am having high hopes from Karun Nair and as well as Sai Sudarshan. Yeah, so Saptarshi has joined us, and Saptarshi, I think England have released the squad. So
Yeah,
yeah, what are your thoughts on the series, on the match? How you feel the series is going to turn up?
yeah, I think it will definitely be one crackerjack of a series. I mean, India, England, Australia, these are high quality teams in the test arena. And in the test arena, if you see right now, I mean, definitely the big three are the ones who are more or less always play competitive series amongst themselves. And India versus England in England will be a treat to watch. Anyways, I mean, Test cricket in England is a sight to behold, and definitely, I mean, these two sides locking horns against each other will be one to watch out for. So there'll be a lot of battles. There'll be
I
some
think the South
rain hit
African
matches.
fans will get upset with that when you tell the big three without the South Africa.
Pardon,
Yeah,
didn't get you.
I think the South African fans will get upset with that statement if you're not including South Africa in the big three. Now,
I didn't include another WTC champions, New Zealand. I included India, who are not WTC champions yet, and England.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I still say because these three play 5 match series, and I think there's always a bit more fun in 5 match series because there's always a greater chance of comeback. In
Yeah.
5 match series, you can start well, you and then not end well. You see a lot of players. I mean, you take the example of Oli Pope in that last series. He got a 196 in that first game. It didn't end well. Joe Root didn't play well in the first 2 games. Got 190, 80 odd in the last game. So you always have a chance of coming back and simultaneously you always have a chance of tailing away at the fag end of the series. So the longer the series is, I mean, the more the variance is. That's the thing. And I think your quality, your ability, and more your composure, your ability to take pressure is being tested because I mean, maintaining the same level of consistency over 5 matches is definitely a big thing. Yeah, definitely. So coming back to your question, I think five, yeah, this will be a series to watch out for. And this first test match at Headingley. Usually, one thing which happens is in the English summer, the Headingley test happens in July or August. If you see the last two,
Yeah,
3 years,
yeah.
so or 4 years. But even the India England test where India got out 78, it was in August. The Ben Stokes test was in August. That Mark Wood test in 2023 that happened in July. So usually it doesn't happen this early in the English summer, and because of that, the temperatures have been pretty high. There's less chance of rain, and the temperatures will be soaring during this test. Because of which, the pitch curators feel there may be a chance for the spinners to get in the game later in the game. So that will also be another equation into the game if you put
So,
it
do you
that way.
think that if it's hotter, it will suit Indian batters more compared to English batters?
Yeah, but I think yeah, it all depends on how the pitch is behaving. But also, I mean, being hotter means there will be less of those. I think movement through the air and all those
Movement.
things.
Yeah.
The weather won't be that
Something which
much.
Chris Brooks relies on a lot. If we talk
Yeah,
about
so
the
the
English
weather
bowlers,
won't be that much uh, impactful like it was a week before in the WTC finals. I think the batters can
man.
play a bit more freely, and the bowlers will have to be more dependent on maybe, uh, if I say what can I say, seam movement of the pitch if
Seam
they get
movement.
any.
So, if we talk about seam movement, you feel that someone like the likes of Braden Carts could do a much better impact than the likes of Chris Brooks if it doesn't move much.
Yeah, surely. I mean, Chris Wokes will try to do a bit of wobble seam. Braden Kurtz is more of that hit the deck kind of stuff. Josh Tang is someone. who will make you play. He will bowl stump to stump, have that pace. If you see the test match, Ashes test match, the second test match where Stokes scored 250, he bowled a brute of a delivery to Warner. So Josh Tongue has that pace to trouble batters, and he's someone who is gonna make you play a lot. He will bowl close to the channel and all. So yeah, I think on paper in India bowling might be a bit ahead, but yeah, England have potential, so that's why. And also who bats first, and England if they bat first, how they play. So yeah, there's a lot to look out for.
And yeah, and coming to that, I think, yeah, guys who are watching, please share your comments. I think, yeah, I think we have a earlier comment from Deva Edits also. So what are the chances of seeing Karun Nayak? Like, do you reckon he's getting a place in the playing 11? And if so, what are his chances of doing, like, how you are seeing the chances of him doing well in the series, considering that the experienced batters are not there anymore, the likes of Virat
Yeah,
Kohli and
there
Rohit
were
Sharma.
four watching. Why it has dropped down? Should I leave?
Yeah,
Was it because there were
no,
four watching
and
when I wasn't here?
Ritik Roy has mentioned that this is the first India England series without Kohli and Anderson, and I mean,
No,
what
first
a
India
shame. I
England
think,
series. I mean, first India England series in a long time, definitely. I mean, India England have played a lot of series without Kohli Anderson. It's in a long time, you can say. After 2011, yeah, after 2011, I
yeah,
think this is the first series where Kohli and Anderson.
no, in 2011 Anderson was there, right?
I mean, yeah, and Kohli and Anderson, I'm saying as a group. Anderson been so I think that was 2003 or even 2002. I think Anderson had him Anderson debuted in 2003.
No, Anderson, I think he's talking 2014. Kohli and Anderson both were there. 2018 they were there.
Yeah,
2021 they were
2014,
there.
18, 20,
Yeah, I'm talking
22.
about the England series. Yeah, I'm not talking about the home series. And yeah, last year they didn't play. Kohli didn't play. He took a leave. So yeah, it is the first series, and I think we will certainly missing
Yeah, since I mean,
that battle.
yeah, the last time when none of them were there was 2002, and then this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, and going to that Deva edits question. So yeah, I think Karuna will should do well. I mean, he's done well in the India A
County cricket,
game and has proved himself in the domestic arena to
and I think he
earn his
has
spot in the
experience of playing in the county
Indian
also.
team. So yeah, I think he should do well now. Let's see how it goes about.
Absolutely. And yeah, so talking about Anderson, like, this is the series first in the time India is playing without Anderson. So I think I was seeing some stats. I think and Anderson has 139 wickets against India in 40. I think 49 and 39 matches. So from the batter's perspective of India, how much relieved Indian batters will be seeing not playing against Anderson, because Anderson in these conditions is at
Huge,
any age, be it 41 or
massive,
42, it's a
huge, massive
massive. He can make a
advantage because
massive difference.
yeah, I mean Anderson is someone who can make things happen, particularly in the English conditions, and I mean not having him in the opposition is definitely a huge respite for any team, be it India, be it some other team. But yeah, that's what I said. I mean, they have able bowlers, and at some point it was going to happen that Anderson won't be there. And I think laughingly, someone they took the call that they would build their new crop of fast bowlers for the two down under, which is going to happen this Australian summer. So keeping that in mind, they are going about their business and I mean, yeah, it would be good for India, but then again, India also don't have a lot of experience in their batting this time around. So that's it, inexperience versus inexperience, you can say.
Yes, considering the way Anderson troubled the current Indian captain the last time they went, I think he dismissed him in both the innings. I think
Mm.
the one which happened in, I think, Manchester in 2022. Sorry, Edgbaston. It was
Edgbaston.
in Edgbaston. Yeah, it was in
Yeah, the
Edgbaston,
one where
and
Johnny Bairstow and Joe Root won it in the
Joe Root,
378 chase.
yeah, 378
Yeah.
chase. Yeah, yeah. So I think that would be a big I think boost up for India, and Rishabh Pant played well in that match. So coming to the Indian side, so I think in England have already announced the squad, and I think so. How you like analyze the England squad, and then we can come to the Indian squad. That what are the strengths and weaknesses you feel? I think from the batting side they look far more ahead compared to the Indian batting lineup. But yeah, how you analyze their squad?
See, I think definitely the Indian squad. I would not say weak. I would rather say a good
No, no,
opportunity for the
England.
young teams.
About the England
Okay,
squad.
England.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah, yeah.
England have put out whatever the best thing, the best out of what is what they had. One thing which I was a bit unsure was Jacob Bethel not selected, but I think yeah, Wally Pope after those knocks in New Zealand and Ireland match, no Zimbabwe match got a chance, but I think somewhere down the line, Jacob Bethel has to get a chance in this 11. He's too good a player to miss out. Rest of the team, I think it was more on the cards. This team, I don't see any hugely surprising selection. Guff Atkinson was surely gonna be in the 11, but I think yeah, I mean, his injury has meant that he's not here. But they will rotate the first bowlers. They have got Gus Atkinson. I think Jofra might also come in. Josh Hull might come in. Matty Potts is there. They've got someone like Sam Cook who's done good in the domestic arena. So their fast bowlers they will rotate it. Shoaib Bashir will play quite a few of those games. I think. Yeah.
So when you talk about Orly Pope, I think this guy also like has a great
Hmm.
talent, but somehow I feel that he is not that consistent in the international level. The average of just around 35. So he is like I also feel a kind of a Eden Markram. Like on his day, he can play very very well. So as you mentioned, Jacob Bethel, he's an interesting talent. I think he
Even
also
even
did.
KL Rahul, even KL Rahul is that kind of a player with huge potential. But yeah,
And I
very
think
rarely we.
Jacob Bethel did well in the New Zealand series. So I think Crawley and Duckett and I think this England batting looks I think a solid batting lineup. If two of them can fire and the likes of experienced Joe Root, so I think it will be a tough task for the Indian bowlers to dismiss these batsmen.
Yeah,
What I feel
surely.
from the 11, I think, is that they've also experienced like they have brought depth to the batting. I feel.
Yeah, I mean they have got enough batting depth because Chris Brooks at 8 and Brandon Curse can also strong the ball hard. So yeah, there's depth in the batting, and
Chris Woakes has
I
a
think also
hundred against
I think
India also at Lords.
sorry,
Chris Woakes has a hundred against India at Lords.
yeah, 2018
Yeah,
that that match where India for some reason decided to play two spinners on an absolute green deck under cloudy skies.
absolutely. And yeah, so they have playing with Zach Crawley. I think he's in a hell of a form. Ben Duckett, Ollie Pope, Root, then Brook. How you're seeing Harry Brook pairing in this series?
Yeah,
Like
so three players in that 11: Harry Brook, Josh Tongue, and Braden Curtis hasn't played a test yet against India. This will be their first test against India. So a huge opportunity. Someone for, like Harry Brook, I mean, who's hailed as the next big thing of England cricket. So definitely, it's a huge opportunity for him learning against the best and
no, I think
playing
James
someone
Smith
like
also
this.
hasn't played. I think against India. I think the wicket keeper.
Okay, okay. Jamie Smith also. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
Jamie Smith also. So yeah, I think these guys will have huge learning curve here. Learning playing against someone like a Jasprit Bumrah, playing against some experienced guys like Mohammad Siraj, Ravindra Jadeja maybe. So yeah, they will learn a lot definitely.
absolutely. And yeah, I think we don't have any more questions
Mhm.
regarding the comments are not coming that much. So we can shift the Indian side now. And so Saptarshi, what your playing 11 is? I think I gave my playing 11, but what you feel is the playing 11 according to the heavenly conditions?
Mm. Yeah, so I think for India, I mean, I'm just going by my lines. So I mean, don't blame me if it doesn't come out the same tomorrow afternoon. But anyways, I would like. I mean, the opening would be fixed. Rahul and Yashasvi, and then a three, a position where legends like Rahul Dravid, someone like a Cheteshwar Pujara has played for a long time. I think Sai Sudarshan should get his chance at that position. 4 and 5, as Rishabh Pant confirmed in the press conference, will be occupied by the captain and the vice captain. At 6, they have quite a few options. They have got Karun Nair, they've got Jadeja. I think they should play Karun Nair. Now, if Karun Nair plays at 6, 7 has to be played by, I
Jadeja.
think, Jadeja. They have got options in Jadeja or Sundar or Nitish Kumar Reddy. At 8, it has to be Shardul Thakur. Nitish Kumar Reddy can't play at 8 because
So that's
I
what I'm
don't think
asking. That 7 or 8 will be a sub between the all rounders. Either one fast bowling all rounder
yeah, yeah. So they
and
have got three
and
options of all rounders in that 7. And if they want to play two of them, then they have to drop one of Sai or Karun. So that's the equation.
oh
8,
no, no.
9,
Why they
10.
need to drop Sai or Karun? I didn't get that one. Because
No,
six, if let's
I'm saying that if one of Sai or Karun gets dropped, then they can, then the other one. I mean, then only one of them plays. He plays at 3, and at 6 and 7 they can play two out of Jadeja, Sundar, and Nitish. At 8 it has to be Shardul because I
I
think
don't
at
think
8.
in Headingley they will go with two spinners. I don't think so. Like
No,
on my
I
understanding,
think at 8 you need Shardul because if you play Nitish at 8 and then you play Jadeja, then again you are running one bowling option short, which was sort of a problem in Australia. Yeah, you can argue that Nitish Kumar Reddy might have a better experience in England with his sort of WW medium pace, which wasn't that much beneficial on those Aussie decks. But still, I think definitely they should play Shardul at 8, and then 9, 10, 11 would be Jasprit,
three quick.
Siraj, and the third pacer has either you go with the
Arshdeep or
left
Prasidh.
arm angle of Arshdeep or you go with the experience and test match pedigree of Prasidh Krishna. I mean, my playing 11 would be that
Yeah.
only.
So Ritik has a comment. If Satoshi can decode it because you are so good in mathematics. Steep
No, you
learning
are
curve
also, man. I mean, he's
approaching
even better.
approaching infinity.
Steep
So
learning
we
curve.
didn't understand.
F dash dex. Yeah, so he's saying F dash dex is huge. I mean, F dash dex is tending to infinity. So basically, tan theta is turning out to be 90 degrees. So tan theta is tending to infinity.
Yeah. Yeah, my question is that yeah, whom you are seeing playing? Because I predicted that six Karuna will be playing. 7 and 8, one spinning all down in the form of Jadeja, and 8 either Reddy or Sundar. Then 9, because if you play two all rounders, then I think you need to have both Karuna and Sai Sadushan. I feel because the batting is a bit inexperienced. So in that case, would you pick
See, I
based on
think, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, so that's the thing. I think, I mean, if they want to play both Jadeja and Nitish, then the best thing will be to play one of them at 6 and one of them at 7. And what that does is that restricts you to playing only one out of Karun or Sai. So either you, and now if Karun plays, he has to play at 3, which is not his usual position. So now the pendulum sort of hangs more on the side of Sai, I would say, and Karun might run a risk of missing out of the 11. So yeah, I think also a look at the pitch, for a final look at the pitch before the toss and all might play a decision. They might if they feel like there's a bit of spin in the
hmm.
pitch. Who knows? They might play both Jadeja and Sundar. So yeah, mm, I think more or less that playing 11 would be on these lines. So there's a couple of names here and there which I kept out.
So
Apart from
you
this, I
are
don't.
not seeing Sarfaraz playing any match on this series? Just
No,
a quick question.
Sarfaraz is not even in the official side, also, right? He was
Okay,
only in
okay,
the A
okay,
side.
okay. I mean, I didn't check the side. That is the case, but he scored 100, so I thought, okay, okay. So that's yeah. I need to check the squad.
Yeah, so the view count is now 5.
It's continuously decreasing, and so yeah. Those who are watching, please share your comments and let us know how you feel about the series. And now, if we talk about now the some other questions that for both the teams before playing at Lords, taking into account the WTC final. Okay, my question is that Satoshi, like, Shuman Gay is now the Indian team captain, I think, and the Test captain, and considering his record overseas, I think he's averaging, I think, around 13, 14 overseas. So how you feel that is it a chance for him to also prove him as a test batter and as well as a captain how he can do well, because talent wise we all know that he is very talented, but somehow you feel that he has not been able to still prove at the test arena, especially if you consider his overseas matches, because he has played a decent number of matches now in South Africa, in Australia, and now in England.
See, I think Shubman Gill, yeah, definitely. He is someone who has a high ceiling, whose potential has a high ceiling, and we all are pretty much aware of it, if I put it in that way. But I think at this point, there's no utility looking back and, I mean, analyzing what he's done in the past. So now he's got the captaincy. He's still pretty young, and I think it's, again, as I said for Harry Brook also, I think he should use it as his opportunity rather than a threat to learn. And I've seen guys who do better when they get that added responsibility on their shoulders, and Shubman Gill should definitely look to include himself in that list. I mean, you have a huge series. You make India win in England where they haven't won for the last 18 years, and
That would be,
and
they
the
have
tables
drawn
will
series,
turn
but yeah,
overnight.
they have not won. Yeah,
No one will remember what you were averaging, whether you were averaging 13, 15, whatever over the last 5 years. People will remember what you have done now. So again, it's gonna be a huge opportunity. But yeah, on the flip side, it's gonna be a huge pressure also on the young man. You are already not in the runs. You again have a poor series as a player, as a captain, and the X will be dangling over your head.
absolutely, because we no doubt we are having no doubt about his prowess in the limited overs, specifically the ODI format. But yeah, I think the test format is the one which I think he's also averaging, I think, in mid 30s. So yeah, I think he would be looking to improve his record, uh, both as a captain and as a batter. So yeah, and coming from Shubman Gill, the some other questions I wanted to ask is that Yashasvi Jaiswal, I mean, when he started, I think he did well in the West Indies tour, and then I think he didn't do that well in the South African tour. And the question is raised that whether he would be able to do well in the SENA countries. And he responded with a century, a century in the Perth, and then playing good knocks in the Melbourne. So he has already proved his mettle in the Australian conditions. How you are faring his chances in England, in the home of cricket this summer?
So I'm not sure how he will do at the home of cricket in particular, uh, which is the Lords. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think he
yeah, no,
would do well in
I'm asking
England, and
about,
considering that England
yeah, sorry,
gives some
yeah,
good batting decks also these days, so Jaiswal, with the pedigree he has and the hunger for runs which he has, he's also a good learner. We saw it in Australia. I mean, that first couple of tests when he was having that issue with his trigger movements, he rectified that in the next couple of tests and he came back strongly. So, yeah, he's a quick learner also, and I think he will do well in England. Now, whether he's going to have a 500, 600 run series or a 300, 400 runs is that I can't specify at this point of time. It also depends on multiple other parameters. But yeah, I think, I mean, at least a couple of tests he should get some big scores with the kind of talent and the hunger for runs which he's shown over the last couple of years or so.
yeah. And coming to that, I think that his partner in crime, KL Rahul, I think we are already discussing about him. And with KL Rahul, the one thing which always we talk about is the, I would say, inconsistency. And he start the series so well, and then over the series, the same issue continues. So now, with in the absence of senior players, do you see that him taking the responsibility and carrying the Indian batting forward?
Uh, Maybe I see or not see shouldn't be the big question, but he should. I think India have given him enough backing over the last 10 years. He's been hailed as
And
a youngster for,
he finally proved it in the Champions Trophy. Finally,
yeah, he's been hailed as a, talented youngster. I'm again repeating youngster over the last 10 years or so. He's been backed. He's been backed to that extent when a lot of his peers with maybe better performances, but one or two bad performances has been even dropped from the team. So I think it's the time for him to repay the faith which the Indian management, some captains like Rohit Virat, the selectors, everyone has shown in him. I think it's time for him to repay the faith. He has to step up and step up big time. A lot of India's fortunes will depend on Yashasvi and Rahul. I mean, Rahul is the senior partner. He has toured England a couple of times before this. Also had a good series
Yeah,
in
two times.
21. So
He had a
yeah,
good
I
season
mean, Rahul
21.
has to set the tone. You can't depend on Yashasvi who's touring for the first time to give you a 600 run season. But I can expect at least a 500 run summer from Rahul. I mean, anything below that, I would say it's been disappointing from Rahul. He needs
Yes,
to be
because
the
we have.
glue.
Yes.
He needs to be the glue around which the Indian team would sort of revolve around, if I put it in that way.
And also, I think, yeah, as you mentioned, that about the 500, 600 runs, we have had captains and players who have had 500, 600 runs, but the team haven't won. So I think it should be also, I think, contribution from all the batters. I feel, but yeah, I think KL. After talking from the perspective of KL Rahul, yes, I think this is the high. It is very high time that he scores well. He already did well for India in the Champions Trophy. That's why I keep repeating, because he finally, like, he played in the pressure situations when Indian wickets were crumbling, and he did well. So now I think it's time in the longest format to repay the faith that once Kohli and then Rohit Sharma gave him. And I think a lot of because he sounds technically solid to me, and I think he is the person who should carry out the one. So talking about, we have already covered I think Sudarshan and one, and now coming to the vice captain Pant. So how you are seeing his series going through, and then we'll wrap. Yeah, means what are your chances against him? Like how you are betting against Pant to play?
Say I would against Rishabh Pant is someone who always somehow gets back to form in the white jersey. Yeah, now he's a sort of high variance player. I mean, he might have bad times and then he will play one out of the wall knock. And he's a player of adversity, so he likes those adverse situations. He thrives in those adverse situations, and I mean, uh, he will come good in a couple of matches. But yeah, it also leaves to be seen what plans England have in store for him. Australia used some good tactics against him, particularly Pat Cummins, who I think got him 3 or 4 times in that series,
Yeah,
bowling that ball on a good length, shaping it away from him, and forcing him to sort of played with his hands rather than less fit movement and getting him caught in the slips or the keeper. So yeah, it also depends on how England have sort of planned for him. Australia, one thing which they did very well was don't give spin to Rishabh, frustrate him bowling pace, 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 and force him to play bad shots. And I think in that case, Ben Stokes is a pretty proactive captain. We have seen it. He is not someone who likes to go with the flow of the game. He will try out different fields. He will try out different plans. So yeah, Ben Stokes will have some plan in store for Rishabh.
that's a good observation. Yeah, and I completely agree with that. And with that, I think the batting side almost done covered. I think now comes to the bowling lineup. So how you are rating the bowling lineup, and with the likes of Bumrah and Siraj, who has done well in the previous years, and how you are seeing them, how the Indian bowling is shaping up to be according to you?
Yeah, so the Indian bowling on paper is better than the English bowling on experience, I would say. Because in English bowling, I think Chris Wokes is the only experienced guy. The others don't have that much experience. Indian bowlers, if I put it, Bumrah has already had 2 tours to England. Siraj, this is his second tour. Prasid,
Hmm.
I think the third bowling option is a bit inexperienced, but the other two are experienced. If Jadeja plays, he's had three
Shardul
tours
Thakur
to England.
had a tour
Yeah, Shardul
in
Thakur had a tour to
2021.
England. Jadeja has already played 3 tours before this in England. So yeah, all these guys are pretty experienced, honestly speaking.
Yeah, coming to Jadeja, do you see any help Jadeja getting on these wickets? considering the final at Lords
Yeah,
when Nathan was.
I mean, yeah, yeah. As I said, I mean, Headingley, if it gives a bit of spin, if there's a bit of foot marks and all, he's someone who can do well in the fourth innings. But yeah, definitely not a great deal of help. I think Oval might be the best pitch for him, not Headingley.
Absolutely, and I think with that, I think we have covered all the bases, and yeah, I think we are looking for we can expect a good cracking series, and yes, I think Saptarshi, anything you want to add from your side? I think we have covered all the strength and the weakness of all the both the squads, and yeah,
Uh, Honestly speaking, yeah, 280 subs. So yeah, thanks to whoever subbed. And it would have been better if you would have come to the live also and shot in your comments. But nonetheless, I mean, that's also a great gift, I would say. But yeah, so I think nothing much to add. I think Abhishek has covered more or less all the facts. So it's also pretty late in the night, and I think within a couple of minutes or so, if no more interactions, we can think of winding it up. So just waiting for
yeah,
maybe the last couple of comments.
yeah. And since we are like reviewing all the India England series, I think what series or what match remains a favorite to you when India toured England? Like from Indian perspective, from England
Uh,
perspective,
Honestly speaking,
anything
I
can
don't
be.
remember a lot of old matches. So
Yeah,
please forgive if I miss out some matches of 80s or 90s. I can say, I mean, whatever I have watched personally, I would say maybe 2021 Lords and 2014 Lords. I mean, those were two definitely historic matches. And another one which India lost but England won was the 2022 one, 2022
yeah.
Western one.
That was some kind of a chase. And I
Yeah,
think since
380
we're
runs.
talking about Headingley, I think we shouldn't forget about the 2002 when India scored 600 runs on that green track. And I think
Yeah,
to me it is,
and
I think,
Ganguly elected to bat first on that track, despite the pundits calling it a foolish decision, and played both
yeah,
two spinners on that track, Harbhajan and Kumble.
yeah, and 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 that was, I think, the our batting which used to be
Mhm.
that time. And I think one of the best batting performances by a subcontinent team
See, I mean,
on
Headingley
England.
has seen many big encounters now. Ian Botham Ashes, Stokes Ashes. So
So
last
yeah,
time India got out 78 all out in Headingley. So yeah,
yeah, the third test match, I think.
Yeah, Stokes got Root got
Yeah,
100 in that match. I mean,
yeah,
Root. In
yeah.
fact, last time when India went to England, I think apart from that Oval game, Root got 100 in all the other games. He got some 700 runs in that game, in that
I
series.
think Root was the deciding factor in that series. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think still, I think he will be the deciding factor in this series also. Mm, I think, and the competition between him and Bumrah is the one I am looking for most, to be honest, because Bumrah has got Root a couple of times, I think, now in his career, and I think that would be a battle to watch out for. And yeah, I think Headingley is I think one of the places where Indian like subcontinent teams don't like playing much, but I think yeah, this Indian team can.
it's a fun fact would be the last time India played England in 2021, and this side which England will play tomorrow. So out of those two England says the only common player is Joe Root. All the other 10 players have changed. There was Roddy Burns, there was Asif Hamid, there was Malan, Bairstow, Josh Butler, Moeen Ali, Sam Curran, Craig Overton, Ollie Robinson, James Anderson.
Man, so this is how fast the time changes.
I mean, India also have
And,
changed a lot. I mean, Rohit was there, Virat was there, Shami was there.
but
I
still,
think
I think two, three players are common. I think if you talk about the likes of Pant, Rahul, Bumrah, Siraj, Shardul. So if in a team of 11 players, 5 players are there. Yeah, I think still you have a lot of. But I think this also shows that Indian England team, most of the players couldn't do well in that format. So that's why a lot of chipping and clipping and stuff. So yeah, I think it's a massive difference. I think within a time frame of, let's say, 3 years, 3 or 4 years. Yeah, it's a interesting fact actually.
yeah.
So guys, if you have any more comments, please
So
put it. Otherwise, we can close it in a couple of minutes. And
yeah, so I think it's 11:10. So another 2 minutes, and we would drop it.
yeah, I think we are gearing up for a very excellent series. And yeah, I think it will be a good series to watch out for. So I think since there are no more comments, I think we can stop the live. I think, and we had a good discussion, and we'll be also making, I think, shorts and covering the matches, and first, and one more thing before we close. I think the reception that you gave us for the shorts, I think it was, I think, over the moon.
Yeah, so
And
it's I think
the kind of,
600 something, and one
yeah.
was
So
1.4K.
yeah, so we are very much grateful to that, and all the days you gave a very good support. So quick request will be, whenever you watch the shorts, please kindly, or if you are new subscriber, if you're new viewer, please kindly subscribe. That would mean a lot to our channel,
Mhm.
and would help us bring would help us make more such videos in the future. So yeah, that's just a small request. And yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I
so I
think,
think time to wind up.
yeah,
Yeah, so thanks to
thank you
everyone who
so much,
joined.
thank you so much
Yes, and
on
goodbye.
join. Goodbye, thank you so much.